Hello folks, here we are on the USS Lincoln in the Gulf of Oman. The following discussion is centered on how to get good, consistent OK passes utilizing the Airboss LSO script. Immediately after spawning, open the Fuel and Stores Management window and select an appropriate skin. Then load 2 AIM-9s on the tip stations and 2 120 Charlies on the shoulder stations. The rest should be empty. Add a fuel load of 60% to ensure the total weight is below the max trap with enough for 6 passes. Start and fully align the jet. Ensure in DDI1 you have HSI 10-mile range with TACAN and ILS selected. Enter 309 degrees in the course selector for BRC. I guess we're turning here. Turn on the TACAN, the ILS, and the IFF. Ensure in DDI2 you have 16 stab trim on FCS, and the MPCD can be set to SA. Yep, we turned. Okay, ensure that radio 1 has button 2 for LSO and radio 2 has button 1 for deck. Ensure that the radar altimeter has 380 feet and that the ECM gear is in standby. And I'm just going to make one quick look around to make sure everything is looking good. And I think we're good. Release the parking brake and then taxi to catapult 1. As you approach the catapult, determine if the catapult team is ready to launch you. If not, then request launch using voice attack or the F10 menu. Then request emergency landing, again using voice attack or the F10 menu. You should get a response on the LSO frequency button 2 and a text message in the upper right hand corner. Okay, follow the direction of the yellow shirt to align with the catapult and go through the normal connection process. Then go through your takeoff checklist, ensuring that the wings are spread and locked and verified, and that you have 16 degrees of stab trim. Go ahead and extend the launch bar as directed. Verify that you have 10 nautical miles in DDI1 HSI with TACAN and ILS both selected. Okay, pull forward into the shuttle and they'll take tension. You'll see the nose drop. Feel it, and then raise the launch bar as directed. Verify that everything is completed, and then when the catapult officer gives you the turn up, go ahead and run the engines up. Check your flight controls, and when you're ready, go ahead and salute. And off we go. Okay, once you're airborne, turn right to 309 degrees, just a few degrees for the BRC. Leave the landing gear down, move the flaps to full, put the hook down, and trim to optimum, putting the bracket on the left wingtip of the flight path marker. Then at 0.8 miles, you can start your turn to downwind. And you can cage the flight path marker. And notice that the E bracket is indicating that you're a little bit fast here. Don't over trim. Don't worry about it. When you roll out, it'll go back to optimum, hopefully. Close to it. You can verify that. Continue your climb to 600 feet. And level off there, maintain 600, and adjust your angle of bank, which is typically between 27 and 28 degrees, but you can vary in order to reach 1.3 nautical miles of beam at the LSO platform. And the reciprocal is 129 degrees, and we're a little bit wide today, so I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to 129. And when you roll out, you should see the flight path marker back to optimum. Take a quick peek at the ship. And then when the LSO calls paddles contact, start your turn to the 90. This is an instrument turn, descending at 2 to 400 feet per minute rate of descent. And to arrive at the 90 at 500 feet, you can be as low as 490 and still be okay. Then take your first peek at the boat, and you use that peek to adjust your angle of bank to roll out in the groove on centerline. That's the plan here. Okay, the next thing you want to look for is 380 feet or so crossing the wake. Pretty close. And now focus on lineup. If all your altitudes are right, then your glide slope should be fine. Focus on getting on center line so you don't overshoot. Place the flight path marker at the end of the landing area near the crotch, and just kind of focus on that. And as you come over through the burble, make sure you don't drop too much here. And you should be able to get a 3-wire in that one, it looks like. Okay, the 4 things you want to do now are raise the hook, fold the wings, engage nose gear steering, and reset the trim. And then once you're clear of the landing area, you can do 2 things. You can request launch to get the CAT team set up, and then you want to request emergency landing again, and you have to do that each time that you want to get another landing. And that's so you'll get a good LSO grade. Okay, this is the Discord graph that you've seen broken into sectors: start, in the middle, in close, at the ramp, and in the wires. My pass was awarded 4 points. A little fast, drift right in the middle, a little fast and close, and okay underlined. For a 4.0 with a groove length of 16.6 seconds, 3 wire, so all in all, not a bad pass. Okay, getting ready to launch for the second trap. Go through all the same procedures. When you're ready, run them up, salute, and launch. Okay, again, it's a turn to 309 degrees for the BRC, leaving the gear down again, flaps going to full, hook down. Trimming up to optimum, looking for 0.8 miles. And begin your turn to downwind. 27 to 28 degrees angle of bank for the turn. Caging the flight path marker. Continuing the climb. Not over trimming. Don't let that fast indication cause you to over trim. Take a look at the distance and kind of try to gauge how much angle of bank you're going to need to turn on to roll out at 1.3 nautical miles abeam the LSO platform. Again, 129 is the reciprocal, and If you're going to be a little wide, then be a little wide on your downwind heading. Taking a peek at the boat real quick. Okay, there's the paddles call, make your turn, 1.4 nautical miles. So we're on the outside, but we made 1.5 work last time. Again, 2 to 400 feet per minute on the descent. Instrument turn, no peaking. Make it accurate, 500 feet at the 90. Okay, there's your peak. Looks a little long, but we'll see. Don't rush the turn. Okay, now you're looking at 380 feet as you cross the wake. It looks like there's a cloud, so the landing area is kind of in shadow, but focus on the center line. Don't overshoot.
Call the ball.
417 Hornet ball.
Roger.
Okay, aim for the far end of the landing area near the crotch. Maybe a little right for line up here. And try not to drop too much in close. That's a 3-wire. Hook, wings, nose gear, steering, and trim.
Welcome aboard.
Okay, not a bad pass. Here's the graph for the second pass. This was 4 points, no comment. And you can see from the graph that it looks pretty good. This time it was 18.8, so a little bit long in the groove, but also another 3-wire. Not bad. Okay, we're back on the cat for the third launch. So make sure you get all your checklists out of the way, set up all the numbers, they should be pretty much the same. Run up your engines, check your flight controls, salute, and off you go. Okay, try to anticipate what you need to do. I'm not going to give you the gouge, just kind of look at it. I'll just make extra comments if I think about them. Just remember that power controls altitude, lateral stick controls angle of bank. And just try to hit the numbers, go from one to the next. It really does take some good concentration. Don't over trim. Monitor the altitude as you climb to 600 feet. And if I haven't already mentioned it, you probably should be in radar altitude. I just didn't select it, and I didn't want to re-record everything. But here at sea level, it doesn't matter much. You don't want to rely on the LSO's paddles contact call to start your turn off the 180. You want to try to find a place on the ship that gives you the gouge.
Paddles contact.
Okay, this is a really important part of the turn here. It really establishes whether or not you're going to be on glide slope or not. You want to try to hit 500 feet at the 90. 2 to 400 foot per minute rate of descent adjusted to get there. 490 at the lowest, and you don't want to peak at the boat until you get to the 90. So in that one peak that you do take at the 90, will determine your angle of bank for the rest of the turn. Now you're looking for 380 as you cross the wake. And that should put you pretty close to
Right for line.
glide slope. And you don't want to overshoot here.
Call the ball. Roger.
And you want to place the flight path marker at the end of the landing area in the crotch. Adjusting for right for line up there. And don't let the ball drop here. Okay, looks like another 3-wire. Raise the hook, fold the wings, engage nose gear steering, and reset the trim. Okay, here's the graph for the last pass, 4 points, a little fast in close. Although if you look at the graph, it looks like it's a little fast at the ramp. But like in real life, LSOs aren't perfect, and so this is a little bit of unintentional realism thrown in. Okay, that's pretty much the end of my instruction. However, I am going to do 2 more circuits around the pattern. I'm going to do it to music, so you can stick around or stop here. If you stick around, please enjoy the music, and good luck getting good grades from the LSO. Salute. Salute.